Hi guys, my name is Chess Anaconda and today we have a great game between Mikhail Tal and Ripatti, played in Riga in 1949. Mikhail Tal had white pieces. He starts with e4, c5, knight to f3, knight to c6, d4, c takes d, knight takes d, and we have Sicilian defense dragon variation. Knight to f6, knight to c3, d6 from Ripatti, bishop to e2, g6, bishop to e3, bishop to g7, white castle kingside, black castle kingside, knight to b3, bishop to e6, f4, bishop to a5, knight to d4, attacking that bishop, bishop to c4, bishop to d3, and rook c8, h3 and h6. The position on the board is equal, so Tal play queen d2, simply move and developing and connecting his rooks, rook to e8, pawn to f5 with idea to break down this pawn structure, and d5 from Ripatti, f takes g, h takes g, and e5 kicking that knight into e4, knight attacks white queen, so Tal recapture with a knight, and d takes e. Tal capture the bishop with his bishop, but better in this position is just to capture e pawn. But Tal capture this bishop and in this situation black side is better. Ripatti capture that bishop with the knight and attacking the queen, so queen go to f2. In this position, Ripatti had a two choice. Which pawn knight should capture, b2 or e5? If you say b2, you are gonna lose after this continuation. Knight takes b2, queen takes f7, king to h8, knight to e6, threatening the mate in one. So if you play rook g8, defending that bishop, this is mate in 4, starting with this rook to f4, bishop to h6, rook to h4, rook to h4, pinning the bishop, queen to d1, the only move, rook takes d1, knight a4, and rook takes bishop mate. So that's why Ripatti capture e5 pawn and defend the f7 pawn. That is the threat. Tal play rook to d1, lining up rook with the enemy queen, so he move that queen from danger. Queen to h4 from Tal, and knight to c6. A mistake from Ripatti. He should play simply e6, but he play knight to c6, and Tal jump like puma and grab this pawn. A sacrifice rook for the great attack, so Ripatti captured that with the king, and Tal give his check, king g8, the only move, knight to e6, threatening to win the queen, and queen go to e8, knight to g5, and the threat is obvious, a mate in 1. So you are free to pause the video and try to find the only defense for black. I think that is not so hard. So for all of you who play bishop to h6, congratulations, that was the correct move. Sacrifice the bishop for defense, and Tal captured the bishop, and Ripatti defend with queen to g7, queen to h4, and Ripatti, again small mistake by Ripatti. Tal was threatening just to jump with this knight to e6, so Ripatti jumps with his knight and defend that square. But better move was rook to f8. But we don't have that. What happens if Ripatti plays knight to e5? He loses after this continuation. Bishop to d4, pinning that knight. Knight to f3, forking queen knight, and after knight takes f3, e5, knight takes e5. I again put that queen in the pin. Rook takes e5, queen to g3, rook to c8, bishop take, rook takes, and after this check, play rook to f7, queen g8, queen takes b7, rook to f5, rook to e7, queen to f8, queen takes e4, rook f1 check, king h8, queen f2 check, and after queen takes queen, rook takes queen. White is winning in this position. He is 3 points ahead and he is much better. So in this position we don't have knight to e5, we don't have rook, we have knight to d8, defending that e6 square. And Tal tries immediately to remove that piece who defends this square, and this is not the best move in this position. The best move in this position is simply c3, but Tal play bishop to b6 and position is equal from this 29 move. Ripatti play e6 and him blunder in this with this move, but Tal didn't find the correct move in this situation. He captured that knight, and the correct move in this situation is knight takes e4, and after g5, queen h5, knight to f7, knight to f6, check, and after king to f8, pinning that queen with idea to check and win the free queen, and after e5 remove that bishop go to c3, and in this position the best defense for black is simply to sacrifice to capture this bishop with the rook, exchange sacrifice, and white is winning in this position. We didn't have any of that. We have e6 from Ripatti, and Tal didn't play this knight takes this pawn. He played bishop takes knight and gives and he blundered in this situation. Ripatti takes with rook, that bishop with the rook, and then Tal play knight to e6. Better is knight to e4, but we have knight to e6, and Ripatti made mistake. You're free to pause the video and try to find the best move in this situation. For all of you who play queen takes b2, congratulations, that is the correct move. And now, if Tal captured this rook, then you didn't capture with these rooks because you simply lose. First you give check, and then after example rook to f2, now you take this knight and the position is equal. But we don't have that. After this knight to e6, we have rook take e6, queen take d8, and king to h7. In this position, white is almost 2 points ahead according to engine. Next Tal move was queen to h4, check, king to g8, rook to d1, rook to 8, rook to d8, queen to f7, defend that rook and also threat to capture this pawn on a2. And Tal play b3. This is also a small mistake. He should simply play rook to d6, but we have this b3 pawn move, and then a3 from Ripatti. Rook takes rook, queen takes rook, and king to f1. Queen to e5 from Ripatti, queen to d8, check, king to g7, queen to d7, check, king to h6, and after this move Tal gives Ripatti chance to perpetual check, and he saw that immediately after this move, and the both sides are agreed to a draw. What happened if this game continued? As I say, Ripatti have perpetual check like this. There is nothing what can white do. This is checking the white king all day. So after this 41 move, queen to eats b7, both player agree to a draw. This is the first Mikhail Tal draw. What do you think about this game? If you like this video, like the video and put the comments below. Peace.